Hi, I'm Chris Shelton, coming to you from a beautiful day in Los Angeles, California, the heart of Hollywood, with your DIY home remedies guide to health, happiness, and healing transformations. Here today, I thought I'd talk about something that affects millions of people around the world, and that is carpal tunnel and trigger finger syndrome, especially nowadays that so many people are on the computer all the time, and that is carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, so there's many different things that cause carpal tunnel syndrome, but what and how can we fix it? Well, the simplest way to fix it, number one, is to go ahead and work on the acupuncture points associated with releasing the tendons and ligaments that go through those carpals. So when the ligaments get inflamed, then guess what? This is what creates the pain. So what can we do? First thing you do is you go ahead and hold your arm up level and your palm is flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the highest point on the forearm here. This is triple burner 9 or triple warmer 9 or triple heater 9 or Sanjo, whatever you want to call it. This is related back to the fire element, and what we're going to do is we're going to find that and we're going to press as hard as we can, and we're going to extend the ligaments of the hands. And what's going to happen is then I'm going to pull back, I'm going to gently pull forward, and I'm going to pull back and forward. Now we're going to do this for about 10 repetitions, and even though maybe I have carpal tunnel pain on or wrist tightness on the, let's say on the left arm, I'm going to make sure that I want to do both sides, not just the side that's affected, because a lot of times in Chinese medicine, where diseases manifest, the origin is on the opposite side of the body. So a lot of times if you go to see your acupuncturist, you'll notice that they will needle opposite of where the dysfunction is, for example. So if you have stomach issues, they may needle on the right side of the body as opposed to the left. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Now what's going to happen is then I'm going to find the highest point. I'm going to turn my hand towards you, and I'm going to extend the ligaments. Now I'm going to find large intestine 9. This is connected to the large intestine meridian. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press as hard as I can, moving back and forth. And I'm going to extend those ligaments, really feeling the pull in the tendons, ligaments, and sinews of the hand, open up through the wrist. So once again, carpal tunnel syndrome, and even tennis elbow syndrome, but right now we're talking about carpal tunnel. What happens is that when those ligaments or those tendons get tight through the carpal, those little openings, and this is what creates the pain. This is what creates trigger finger. So this is also good for trigger finger as well too. So if you have trigger finger where the finger locks and opens up, do this every single day. This practice also will work for tennis elbow too. Okay, so I'm going to shake that out a little bit. Find the highest point on the muscle. So I'm going to look at it, and right here on me, this is where it is, and this is where triple burner 10 is. And when you press it, it should hurt. It should be tender. So I'm going to extend the ligaments, moving the hands back and forth. So extending those ligaments, okay? And then from here, what's going to happen is then I'm going to go ahead, now once again, I'm going to find the highest point on the forearm. I'm going to find the highest point on the forearm, and now I'm going to find large intestine 9. I'm going to move the arm back and forth. So again, this works for carpal tunnel syndrome. This works effectively for trigger finger syndrome. And if you want to prevent yourself from having to have surgery, which I've seen more disasters than any good from surgery with these types of conditions, but every once in a while you may hit the bullseye. If you want to prevent it, I would recommend doing this practice every single day. Once again, this will help with tennis elbow as well too, because it does affect the channels that go through the elbows. Okay, so we're going to do several repetitions and then shake it out, and that's it. Now, Qigong practices that you can do that will also help to reinforce this as well would also be your lung acupuncture move, okay? Because the lungs connect with the large intestine. So you may notice if you have any sadness or grief or whatnot that needs to be dispersed, this will actually cause a blockage in the channel, which we call channel pathology, which will create the pain in the wrist as well too. Other movements would be the heart move as well, because the heart, or that triple burner channel, connects to the fire element, which is the heart. So again, when we do these practices, we want to focus on any kind of trauma that's created pain or loss for us, and we want to be able to let that go. All right, so very simple practice, finishing off by pulling down the heavens, and there you go. So once again, these two acupuncture points, triple burner 10 and large intestine 9, are the best points to work on in order to be able to release the acupuncture channels and also to release the ligaments that go through those carpal that creates the pain and creates the trigger finger and the limitation of movement. So simple to do, and I would recommend doing it at least once or twice a day. If you're somebody who's a butcher or something like that, make sure your tools are sharp, because when your tools are dull, that's also will create more resistance inside the body, which then will contribute to these kinds of conditions. So here we are. I'm Chris Shelton signing off from a beautiful day in Los Angeles, California, the heart of Hollywood, with your DIY home remedies guide to health, happiness, and healing transformations. And until next time, I will chi you later.